going on, everybody? Welcome back to Supreme Tech. Today we're going to go over Photoshop, and I'm going to give you a brief little tutorial of all the main parts of Photoshop that you're going to need to know if you're going to want to edit pictures and images inside of it. And this is going to be one of the first videos in my Photoshop playlist, so you could go ahead and check this out. And then there's going to be more in-depth tutorials just going down on other things about Photoshop. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on them post notifications, and smash that like button if this video helps you out. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so here we are in Photoshop. I have an image or a background opened up. This is going to be 1920 by 1080. But let's just show you how you would open it up if you want to start a new image. So you come up here to File, you're going to click New. And once you click New, you're going to be brought to this screen here. You can either click one of your recent canvas sizes, or you can go to Saved. You can save some. I have some different ones in here saved. Now, the one that I'm using now is going to be 1920 by 1080. So you just click whichever one you want, open it up, and it's going to open up into a window like this. Now, the very basic rundown of what Photoshop does is it lets you manipulate images and export them in different file sizes, file names, or file types rather. And if you master some of the tools, you can do all types of crazy stuff in this program. So let's just go through. I'm going to show you the layout, the basic layout of Photoshop. And then be sure to look back on the channel. It's going to have a bunch of tutorials you can go through. I'm going to be putting out probably at least 20 different videos on Photoshop. So be sure to check back for those. Alright guys, so here we are. At the very top of Photoshop, you're going to have the File tab, Edit, Image, Layer, Type, Select, Filter, 3D, View, Window, and Help. Right? Those are your top tabs. Now if you come to the left hand side, this is going to be your toolbar. Now if you look on here, some of them have a little white dot in the corner. If that has a white dot, you can right click on the tool and it's going to have different tools. This is just like tool groups. So you see here we go to the selection tools. It's coming down, it's got different tools in the groups when you right click on it. Then you just left click to select it. Now moving down, we're just going to go over some of the tools quickly. You got the move tool, artboard tool. Then you got your different selection tools, the shape selection tools like rectangle, circle, all that. Then you got your lasso tools here. Then you got your selection tools. Next is going to be crop, perspective, and slice. Then we got the frame. Now we're getting into our eyedropper, 3D material eyedropper, color sample, rule, count tool, all that. Next we got the healing brush, patch tool, content aware move tool, and your red eye tool. Moving down, we got the brush, pencil, color replacement, and mix brush. After that, we're going to the clone stamp and the pattern stamp. Then you got your history brush and art history brush. After this, you got the eraser tool, background eraser, and magic eraser. Check out my other video. I'm going to put a link in the cue card now for this background eraser tool. You can do a lot of stuff with this tool right here, guys. Okay, after that, you got some paint and gradient stuff. Then you got your blur, sharpen, and smudge. Dodge, burn, and sponge. Your pen tool. There's so many different things you can do with this pen tool. Then you got your text, horizontal and vertical. Your path selection and direct selection tools. Then we got our different shapes here. You can make custom shapes also. And then just hand and rotate and zoom. Underneath that, you can click on this to edit your toolbar. And then you got your foreground and background colors, quick mask mode, and change how your screen looks at the very bottom. Now that we got the tools out of the way, Let's come over here and explain some of these panels to you, these layers, channels, and all that. Now, the main one you're going to be selecting on most of the time is going to be layers. And let's bring an image in here. Hey, now we got an image. As you can see, the image is on top of the background layer, and you can move it. You can move the background on top. You can also change the opacity and the fill from here. Let's see what happens when we change the opacity. See how it gets see-through. You can kind of see behind it. If you have opacity at 100, you're not going to be able to see behind it, and that's going to be the original picture. Also in the layers tab here at the bottom, we have a couple different selections, right? We have add a layer style, we have add a layer mask, we have adjustment layers or fill layers right here. Then you can add a group, you can also add a new layer and delete layers. So let's just show you a quick explanation of what these masks do, because you're going to be using them a lot. So say we want to get our quick selection tool out and we want to select, let's select this person in the background, right? Say we want just them and the fire. Okay, now we got a quick rough selection. It's looking good. Okay, now that we got our selection made, we can come here, make sure we're selected on our layer that we want edited. So we make sure we're selected and that it's highlighted. Then you can go ahead and click mask. Once you click mask, you can see it adds another frame right here, and it's going to be black and white. Anything that's white is going to show through the layer. Anything that's black is not going to be shown. So an awesome thing you can do with this is get your paintbrush tool, come down here to your black and white color swatches, and if you're on white, you're painting with white, it's going to make it see through. So anything you paint with white is going to come through. And then let's just switch it to black. Anything you paint with black is going to be erased. So remember that's the masks. It's just a very basic tutorial on what masks are, or explanation on what masks are. But I'm going to be doing, like I said, a whole nother video on just specifically masks and all types of different things that you can do with it, right? So let's just hide this mask so you can see the original layer. Then when we unhide it, you see that. We can also invert this mask if we hold Control I. Make sure our mask is selected. Hold Control I, and it inverts it. So everything that was black and not seeing through switched. Okay. Now let's just change that back. And if you don't want the layer anymore, you just take it, drag it down to the garbage can, and there you go. Moving on to adjustment layers. If you come down here, you click Add Adjustment Layer. We can do all types of different things from adjustments. We can adjust levels, curves, hue saturation, gradient. Let's just do a hue saturation and show you a quick example of what it does. So say we want to change the color of something. That's what the hue means. Hue means the color, and saturation means how much color. Okay, so hue, let's just go ahead and pick this master brush and pick right here. So we're selecting this color to change. Okay, and you come over here and move the hue. See how that goes? We've changed the flame purple. Okay, now when you're changing the hue, it's changing the entire picture. Like, yeah, you're selecting the reds. See how we selected with the finger pointer right here, and we selected the reds, but there's still going to be red information in some of the other parts of the picture, right? So a real easy way to get rid of that is if you got your mask right here. Every time you make a hue saturation adjustment layer, it's going to bring another mask right here. Make sure you're selected on the mask, and you're going to come here and get your black paintbrush, black color, And we're just going to go over the stuff that we don't want changed, right? Say we don't want that stuff changed. Anywhere you paint with the black is going to be undone, right? So Control Z to undo. Okay. Now, this is just an easy way to get rid of the coloring that got into other stuff. So you just come over with the black and go around all the places that you didn't want it to be affected. Another quick tip, make sure to remember this one. This is going to help you out so much through your workflow. If you have the paintbrush tool and it's equipped, if you hold Alt, click on your right mouse button, not your left, click on your right mouse button, and you can move it to the right to make it bigger, move it to the left to make it smaller. You can also move it up to make the hardness less, and move it down to make it more hardness, right? I usually like to work with less hardness because then it leaves like a nice little blur. Okay, moving on, guys, we're going to show you these tabs over here. Now, you can always get back stuff that you've lost, like say your properties tab or your layers down here isn't showing up, or your toolbar's not showing up. Say you moved it and it just got lost. You can come up here to Window and just find whatever you're looking for, right? Tool presets, paths, layers. See if it's not checked. It's not showing up right here. Always, if you want to get it back, go to Windows, and whichever one you're looking for, click on it, and it's going to pop back up. Next, we're going to go over the Properties tab. Properties is going to usually be up here. You might not see as many options up here as I have. You might have color and properties, but any tool or any layer that you click on is going to have properties to it, right? So you click on this layer, it's going to have different properties you can change and stuff. And this layer is a hue saturation adjustment layer, right? So it's going to have the presets for this, and you can tune them and fine tune them and come back to them as much as you want, right? So moving on from Properties tab, we're going to come to the Options menu up at the top. Now, whichever tool you're selected on, say we're on the eyedropper, you see up here, these things change. This one has different options for you to click on. Let's just go back to the paintbrush tool. You can see we can change the blend mode. We can change the opacity from here, the flow, smoothing, all types of different options. You can change the brush style. Come over here, say we want a different type of brush. Click on it, and it's a different type of brush stroke, right? Say we can make it bigger. That's what it looks like. So that's just another thing for you to fine tune your tools and your presets and all that. Just remember, you always have options at the top. Also, guys, if you download plugins or extensions, they're called. If you download plugins or extensions, they're usually going to pop up over here. See, I have this extension here for free stock photos. So I can come in here and just pick a photo and transfer it right to Photoshop. So easy, right? Let's just hide this layer so we can see what's going on. And we can just work on this picture as much as we want. You can also hide layers. I don't know if I showed that before or not, but if you come right here where the eyeballs are, you can click on it and hide it. Just remember the basic principle of layers. Whatever is on top is going to show up on top of whatever's underneath it, obviously, right? So we have this picture on top of this, and you can't see it because it's underneath, but if we hide this one, you can see it perfectly. Or if we come here and do the opacity, bring it down, you can see what shows behind it because you're making it transparent. Okay? Using opacity is a great way to make stuff look like it's merged together. But I think that about does it for this video, guys. If this helped you out and you found value, make sure to subscribe, smash that like button. Also, check out the description below. We got some affiliate links for stuff that is going to help you a lot in Photoshop. It's called the Pen Mouse Tablet tool, and they got all types of different ones, all types of different price points I put in there. So check them out. It might help you, it might not, but I highly recommend it if you're going to be getting into Photoshop for like a serious either profession or hobby or whatever you want. Make sure to check those out. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.